Hello, 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 everybody. It's Robin from Roaming with Rover. Did you miss me? I know I was gone forever, right? Forever. And we are back today to do the drawing for the prize winner for guess how many things I got done. Yes, today we're going to talk about how much stuff I got done while I was on my vacation. And of course, it was not as much as I thought I was going to. What you had to do was go back and watch the previous video. And the previous video was what was it called? Oh my goodness, I've got so many videos. It was Easy Travel Projects Crochet and Knit. And it was this one right here. It was that one right there, that one. You had to go in there and look and see. And I talked about all the different things that I was taking with me on my trip. And then you had to go in and watch this one, the surprise video. And that's the one where you had to go in and put your answer. And basically what you had to do was guess how many projects that I took with me that you thought I was going to actually finish, and talk about which of the projects I took with me you thought was your favorite. So, what did I take with me? And did I finish it? That was the big question. So, in no particular order, one of the things I took with me, and I was really excited to try, the crocheted socks. Well, obviously that didn't happen. The crocheted socks were a pattern. Oh, I don't even have the pattern printed out. That was I do. That was a pattern by Alt Knots, and I don't know, I can never remember her name. I adore her channel too. Alt Knots, A-L-T Knots. The crochet pattern. It's a paid-for pattern. I want to say it was $5 or $6. It wasn't very much. But several people recommended this to me, and I was very excited to do it, and it didn't happen. I'm still going to do it, of course. I've got my yarn, I've got my pattern, I've got my hook. Just did not get to it. So that is still, and it's worked from the cuff down. So I'm still very interested and very excited to try this. So that was the number one thing that I did not complete. Alt Knots, you are in my to-do list still. One of the things that I did not take into account on my very long cruise was, yes, I had lots of time for crocheting, but I forgot that when you crochet all day, your hands start to hurt. And I kind of didn't take that into account. So even though I had lots of time, I did find my hands were hurting. And by the end of the day, I was getting some achiness in my hands. I was getting achiness in my arm. And so I did not want to injure myself. And so I had to back off and not crochet as long as I wanted to. And I did not think about that when I was planning all of these projects. So that one didn't get finished. But here's one that I did finish. This was the Sunset Wrap by Selena Baca. This was a free pattern that was on her website, and it was made using the shawl and the ball. Now I gotta tell you, I had some issues with this. It is a beautiful pattern. The pattern was very, very easy to do. Let me back up here. I don't want to make a lot of noise. Don't want to make a lot of noise with this chair. So the pattern said that you could make this entire wrap with one ball of yarn. Well, as you can see, I created this entire thing with one ball of yarn. It's nowhere near wrap size. Nowhere near wrap size. It's done, but it ain't no wrap. So it's very pretty. The stitch work is gorgeous, just gorgeous. And I love the yarn. I love the yarn. The colors are beautiful. The transitions are beautiful. You know, I don't like yarn transitions where they're very in your face. But as you can see here, the transitions are very, very subtle, and it's gorgeous. The yarn itself was easy to work with. Having said that, beautiful yarn. But when I first pulled the center out, I got this wad in the middle, and it was one great big fat knot. And it took me about 2 hours to untangle that mess. It was miserable, and I was not happy. So once I got that untangled, I wound it up into a ball, worked from that, did the first row of chain, and that was really hard to find my stitches to get started on it, to get started on that first row. Once I got past that, it was a breeze to work with. Absolute breeze to work with. I thought it was going to be splitty because it has that little bit of sparkly yarn worked in. Wasn't at all. It was super simple to work with after that. Now, when I got home, I pulled another skein of this yarn, which I will ball up before I work with it. And I think it'll make it much easier. And I'll make this much longer, at least twice as long. I'll use this whole ball and I'll make it twice as long. Then it will be a decent size shawl. Love the pattern. Absolutely is not big enough. We're still going to call this finished because we finished her pattern. It was supposed to be one skein. I'm calling it finished. I want it bigger than the pattern says, but we did what we were supposed to do. So one item finished. This was a bonus item. I did this on the way over as we were driving over. Turned out really, really well, didn't it? I love it. So that was my walking project bag. Had my project in this while I was walking around doing stuff. Okay, so that's one finished item. I don't want to lose my instructions. Okay, the other item that I was going to work on was the mosaic placemat, and I had told you guys that I was going to work on this design, and as I was doing stuff, I ran into this, which was the original design I was going to do, and I decided I liked this one better. So I was back to doing this design, and I was using red, white, and black, and I didn't do it for 2 reasons. 1, I didn't get to it, and 2, it was a chart, and I realized a chart was going to be tricky to work with while I was sitting with my friends and visiting and talking and wandering around and doing all the things. So that got put on the back burner. Charts just not conducive to the environment that I was in. So that did not get done. However, that's going to get started pretty quick. And I think this same kind of thing, even if I would have decided to do this pattern, look at the instructions on that. There's no way that I could have done this while I was sitting and chatting and visiting with people. So that's 2 things not done, 1 thing completed. 2 things not done, 1 thing completed. And then we had the Christmas project, which was the ornaments. So I took this with me, and it is the ornaments for the ornament exchange. So those of you that don't know, Dana from Dana's Wonderlust Crochet, and I will put a link to her video down below, is facilitating, as part of the Rad Girls, facilitating a ornament exchange. Isn't that so cute? And all you have to do is send an email to Dana, and she'll put you on the list to be involved in this ornament exchange. And what we're doing is we're trading ornaments. So everybody who's involved is going to go on a list, and we are sending ornaments out to so every list will have 10 names on it, yours and 9 others. So you'll make one ornament for each of the 9 other people on your list. So you're going to make a total of 10 ornaments. You keep one, you mail out 9 ornaments. So at the end of the exchange, you will receive 9 ornaments. You will mail 9 ornaments one to each of the 9 other people on your list, keep one, and then everybody on your list will have 10 new ornaments. Isn't that fun? I'm super excited about it. And you want it to be small, so they're inexpensive to mail out. I made mine small enough to be able to put inside of a Christmas card. So these are my ornaments, and I got them all done. I still have to do my ends, but I'm considering these done. I got my ornaments done. They have to be ready to hang on the tree when they show up. So I've got my little loopies on there, and one of them I forgot to do the loop, so that'll be the one that I keep. And it will have, I'll just put, if you don't do a little loop, you can buy those little Christmas tree hangers, the little metal Christmas tree hangers. So there's my ornaments. And I was so happy. I thought they were going to be really hard to do the heels. They weren't hard at all. And I was very, very excited to have that done. So all I have to do is weave in my ends, and they're done. So I got my ornaments all done. Really happy about that. What do you think? Aren't they cute? I've never done anything like this before. I was very, very excited. So that's 2 things done. 2 things done. Plus, it was something that absolutely had to be done before Christmas. So if you're going to do this, again, I'll put Dana's video down below and her email address. All you got to do is send her an email, tell her you want to be part of the ornament exchange, give her your mailing address. She'll put you on the list, and as soon as the next list of 10 gets filled up, she'll send you out the names of the 10 people on your list. You have to send out your finished ornaments by November 20th, and you have to get on her list by the end of October of 23. So don't forget those 2 important dates. Okay? Super excited. This is open worldwide. I have several people on my list that are in Canada, so I got to get those ends done and get them mailed off, because I know sending things to Canada can be a little tricky. So I'm going to get those sent off pretty darn quick. Okay, so now we are at 2 finished, 2 not finished. What is next? Oh, I know what is next. The Ruana. Y'all know how much I wanted to get this done. Did not happen. I did have somebody ask me about this pattern. This was a free pattern. It's called Falling Leaves Ruana. Falling Leaves Ruana. It was from We Crochet. I don't have a link, but if you just go to We Crochet and look up Falling Leaves Ruana. It's by Pamela Stark. Pamela Stark. I don't know what else to say. Falling Leaves Ruana. Now, remember we talked about the yarn for this, and we went round and round. And did you see my video about the big balls? Wasn't that a fun video? We went round and round and round talking about how much yarn I needed for this. And I was not going to do a gauge swatch, but I did end up doing one because I needed to know what size hook to use. And so I ended up needing to get gauge, I ended up needing a 5mm hook in H. So I did do gauge so that I could get the hook size correctly, and so that it ends up about the right size. But did not get to it. Again, I have a reason. We got sick. We got sick on the cruise. Do you guys remember, I don't know, a year ago, year and a half ago, whenever it was, we took a cruise to Alaska on the Carnival Spirit. We got COVID, and they put us in lockdown. They moved us out of our room, and they put us in the basement, and they put us in lockdown. Well, guess what? This was the Carnival Spirit. And the first day that we had a stop day, the first day that we had a day when we were off the ship, we ended up going to Cabo, and Mr. wasn't feeling good. Well, you know, there's a lot of days when he's not feeling good, he's tired and he's achy, and he wasn't going to get off the ship. Plus it was a tender day, which means you got to get into a little boat and trundle into town and get out of the boat, and that was kind of too much for him anyway. So we had already planned he wasn't going to do that. Well, we get back that night and he said, I just don't feel good. I'm like, okay, I'll go pick you up a little something for dinner, some soup or something. So I had dinner with the girls, and I went back to the room, and he said, I think I've got COVID. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I did the COVID test. Yep, he had COVID. Okay. We're not telling anybody. We had all the medicine, we have the masks, we have all the things, we've got a refrigerator. I put my mask on, I got water, I got juice, I got soup, I got macaroni and cheese, I got mashed potatoes, I got grilled cheese sandwiches, stayed away from everybody, loaded up the refrigerator with food for a couple of days, and we hid out in our room. I tested myself in the morning. I had it too. We were sick. Each of us was sick for one day. We just felt cruddy, tiny fever. I had 99 degrees, tiny little fever. We hid out in our rooms. We stayed away from everybody. That was the end of it. After 3 days, we came out of our rooms. Again, we wore the masks. We stayed away from everybody. When we went to get something to eat, we went to an area where there wasn't hardly anybody around. When we were sitting, we went outside to areas where there were not people around, in open air areas. We were very, very conscientious to stay away from people. And I mean, literally, we were sick for one day. There was no way I was going to tell the ship and have them move us to the basement and put us in lockdown for 7 days. There was no way I was going through that again, to be sick for one day. At the end of 4 days, well, the morning of the 5th day, we tested ourselves again, and both of us tested clear. So we did what we needed to do, and to keep the people around us safe. So many people on the ship were coughing and hacking and going, you know, everybody around us was sick, and most people weren't even covering their mouths when they were coughing. So I feel like we did a very good job of keeping people around us safe. So because of that, I also was getting tired easily and wasn't concentrating as well on projects. So I didn't quite get as much crocheting done as I had intended to do. So that's 3 projects I did not do, 2 I got done. However, the last project, the 3rd project, as you can see, I am wearing my other scarf. And this is my, what's the word? I had the word in my head. Anyway, this is the scarf that I made from my leftover Lizzie yarn. Isn't it beautiful? So, so pretty. And it's much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I absolutely could have made this into like a regular triangle scarf or a square scarf, not square, rectangle scarf, instead of this style. So you can see I started at one end and I did each color until I ran out, and then I did a little bit of the duck egg in between. I had one full skein of duck egg blue that I used as a divider in between each of the colors, and I used every bit of that. And at first I was doing, so it's a 4-row repeat, and at first I was doing a full 4-row repeat of the duck egg, and then I realized even with the extra skein of duck egg, I was going to run out. And so then I started doing fewer, making my duck egg smaller in between my colors. And it was a good thing, because when I got to the end, that was all I had. That was all I had left. But look how big the last of it was. Look how wide this ended up. Not infinity. What is it? Why do I keep forgetting what this is called? Let me back up here. See how big this ended up being? So I absolutely could have made this into a rectangle scarf. But I love it. I love this. I love the design. I love the way the pattern worked up. And it is big. It is big and it is warm, which is what I wanted. I basically wanted a big old warm blankie scarf. I'm trying to figure out. I had it. I've still got some ends to put in. Okay, so if I go like this, there we go. If I go like this, tuck it here, and then flip it up around. Go like that. There we go. There we go. I've got to get a shawl pin. Here we go. I need to get a shawl pin or something to help hold it in place. But oh my gosh. And I watched a video yesterday on different ways to wear this. And there we go. So yeah, it's just like a big old blankie. Love it. I love it. So it is so warm, and really this part covers my whole lap while I'm just sitting. But yeah, I definitely need to get a shawl pin. And yeah, so that's it. 3 projects done, 3 projects not done. Not too bad. And this took much longer than I thought it was going to. But it's basically a blanket, a whole blanket. And it was an important project to get this one done. So I really needed to get the socks done. So that was important to get done. This was important to me to get done. So I'm glad I got this done. And I'm really disappointed that the other shawl was as small as it was, because however, I mean, if it would have been bigger, I never would have got this done. So I guess everything works out the way it's supposed to. And I am definitely going to get those other projects done, just who knows when, because, you know, all the things. And now Christmas is sneaking up on us, and got projects for that I got to do. So anyway, I tried to set up the comment picker, the automatic comment picker thingy. Could not get it to work. It would not filter out so that it would only choose people who had picked the number 3. I tried it multiple times to make sure it was working, and it wasn't doing it. So I went through. There were only 4 people who picked the number 3. So I wrote their names down. All 4 people, I wrote your names down on a piece of paper, and I'm just shuffling them up here, shuffle, 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 and I'm gonna pick one of them, and you are going to win a gift card. And if you're not from the US, we'll figure out a way to get that gift card to you. I think I know for sure, in fact, I think 2 of them are not from the US, now that I think about it. So, but we'll figure out a way to make that gift card happen. Okay. Whoops. So we are just doing it the old-fashioned way. Okay, eyes closed. Whoops, tore it in half. Okay. The winner is Flower Crochet Creations Tammy. So let's read her comment. Flower Crochet Creations Tammy. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Thank you guys who did all of your comments. I really, really appreciate it. This was such a fun thing. I just saw it. Here it is. It says, there she is. There she is. Okay, so Flower Crochet Creations Tammy. So what you have to do is you've got a week, and I will get this posted today. So you have a week from today. So by next Saturday, which is the, let me check the date. Nope, that's not today. So you have until the 21st, until October 21st, to send me an email. And that email address is, and I'll put it down below as well, it's rwrrobin, rwrrobbin, the number 3 at gmail.com. Send me an email to that address, and so just connect me and tell me, hey, I won, and we will communicate, and I'll figure out a way to get that gift card to you. Okay? It's going to be an e-card, and so that we don't have to send anything in the actual mail, but we got to make sure that you can receive a gift card. If you're out of the United States, we'll figure out how to do that. If you're in the US, it's easy peasy. So you've got 1 week from today to connect with me, and that deadline again is the 21st of October 2023. I'm going to write that down right here, 21st of October. And I will likely, when you send me an email, I'm going to give you a code word that you have to go back into your comment and add to your comment to make sure you are the actual correct person, so that we make sure that nobody else tries to snatch on to your prize. That's how we keep the bad people away. Thank you so very much. I hope you will like and comment on this video and subscribe. We've got lots of other videos coming up. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Congratulations.